What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the new Timebirds digital timer. Sometime last year, I was online just looking at fitness products, and I came across this Kickstarter for this product called a Timebirds timer, and it was created by Timebirds, and they were looking for funding to create this little digital timer. Now, initially, I would not think that this was something that anyone was looking for. I didn't even think it was something that I would need or want until I actually saw it. Once I saw it, I was like, man, that is something I want. From what I read, they met their goal within the first 3 minutes of posting their Kickstarter. So that just shows you how popular the idea of what they were trying to build was. Fast forward to, I'd say maybe 4 weeks ago, and I saw that they had an official website up and they were taking like legitimate pre-orders, not Kickstarter donation type orders, but actual pre-orders. So what the hell? I went in and I purchased one. Not knowing when it would come. About 2 weeks ago, I got an email saying that my Timebirds clock or timer had been shipped. So the appeal of the Timebirds timer was that you'd have this cool little durable timer that you can kind of put anywhere in the gym area, strength conditioning area, or training area, anywhere, and it was going to be sturdier, and it would just be cool or better than using your phone. You don't have to put your phone at risk because your phone could drop, or they claim that there's glare on your phone, you can't see your phone. So that was the appeal, was that instead of using your phone, you have this really cool mini digital timer. So I get it, and we start using it. And initially, man, the build quality, let me talk on two things real quick that I really love about it. Number one, the build quality is solid. It's a solid little brick. It's strong. It seems durable. Number two, I really like the case that it comes in, the rubber case that you can order. That's an additional cost, but you order a little rubber case to kind of protect it even more. So the build quality is really, really good. And actually, number two, as far as what I really like about it, is the display. The display is very clear. It's very bright. Even though it's small, I can see it from any part of my strength conditioning area in my gym. It is a solid, it is really well done. So the digital readout, the brightness of it, and just the numbers, it's visually appealing. So I do like the build quality, and I like the way it looks. Now, here are my issues with this thing. Number one is, you'll see here in this footage that I actually try to stick it to my power rack and it starts to slide. So I didn't know if that was the rubber casing that was causing that, but I took the rubber casing off and tried it, and it was a little stronger. But for it being magnetized or supposed to be able to stick anywhere, it only sticks to certain metal surfaces, not all of them. I remember back in the day, a few years ago on Instagram, there was this selfie magnet or whatever, and I put a little piece of metal between my phone case, and then I had this magnet, and that thing could stick to your car, it could stick to mirrors. I mean, that's what I used it for as a timer. I would stick that magnet up onto the mirrors in my gym, and then put my phone on it, and then I could see the timer. So that thing was so powerful. It stuck to any glass surface, any metal surface. It stuck to the car, because they kind of appealed to people who could put it on the car and record and stuff. That thing was powerful. So I wonder why they would not have used that same kind of magnet for something like this. So I know it's possible to have a magnet that's powerful enough to stick to pretty much anything. And I think they should have looked at making sure that it could stick to mirrors, because there's mirrors in every gym. And so where aside from the racks, why would you not be sticking it onto the mirror? So anyway, it's just not the best when it comes to that, you know, being a magnet and sticking to surfaces. Now, also, when I was reading through the manual, I thought that I had the option to pick different sounds, but I don't. So you're kind of stuck with the beeping that they set, which that's not a big thing, but I just wanted to point it out. I'm gonna piggyback on that with one of my other complaints, is that it's not loud. So initially I realized it was not loud. As me and my wife were training, we couldn't hear the timer going off, and we did not have the music blaring in our gym. So the music was at a good volume. I can hear my phone, right? But I cannot hear the timer. So I look it up in the book and I figure out how to turn the volume up, and the volume can only be turned up to 4, right? So I figure, okay, that's got to be pretty loud. I got to tell you, man, there's not much of a difference from 4 and 1. It's not very loud. So then I think it's the rubber case. Take the rubber case off. Set it up. Still just a little bit louder. So that's another complaint, man. That thing should beep loud. I don't know if maybe they didn't want it too loud, because if you were in a box or a gym and you were standing next to, so you didn't want your clock like irritating people because it's constantly beeping. So I could see that, but it's just not. There's a middle ground there, or you just have a higher volume option, and people can turn it down if they need to be considered in a crowded gym. But I just couldn't hear it, and it was only my wife and I can't even imagine if it was in a crowded gym, could you hear it? So the sound is not good, okay? It's not loud enough. My last complaint is that I thought, like my big timer that's on the wall, that I could pre-program intervals. So I have specific intervals that I consistently train in, and I have them preset in my big timer. I was very excited at the notion of being able to pre-program all those intervals into this little timer. So I read through the book, and maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Maybe if someone knows that there's a way to preset or program intervals to stay in your timer, then let me know in the comments, man. And I must have missed that, because I flipped through the book and I had my wife flip through the book. And as of right now, nobody has really done a video on how to work the timer. It's not super complicated. The book is really small and hard to read, but just read through the book. But I still did not see anywhere where I could pre-program intervals. So basically, when you turn the clock on, you have to program the interval that you're going to do. And if you're switching to another workout after, you have to do it again. Is it a huge inconvenience? No, you can do it pretty fast, but why should I have to do that when other timers can do that, right? And this thing, now we're moving to the biggest thing, the price. This thing is $100. This thing costs $100. And then you have to pay extra to get the rubber case. So I'm buying this little timer for over $100 with the case and everything. And it's basically just for the build and for the visual. I think you should definitely it should be stronger as far as being a magnet, right? It should be much louder, okay? And you definitely should be able to program intervals into that. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Is it worth the money? You know my take on things, man. I'm all about being a smart consumer. It was basically a want, not a must. Okay, you can simply download an interval timer on your phone, and like I said, I have a magnet on my phone that I can stick up against the mirror, and I can see the digital readout. I never have a hard time seeing my phone, so that's free. So when you're going from a free timer, and even if there was one timer I did pay for that had a few extra features, and I think it was $5 on my phone, the app. So when you're going from free to like $5, and then you're charging $100 for a timer, I think maybe there should be a middle ground in there. I don't know, again, as always, what it cost them to make this thing, but without these additional things that I'm bringing up, I don't see why it should cost $100. Anyway, it's a fun little thing to have if you train. It's very easy to tote around. If you want to give it a shot, go ahead. Those are just my issues, and like I said, there are things I do like about it. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, Keep fighting for fit, no excuses, and I will see you guys in the next video.